Just missed all the action. There was a deer in the yard. I tasted good. We gotta survey the damage and see what it got. But I came out and our cat was outside still, and so I picked her up and she was all like freaked out. I was like going to to close the greenhouse up, and then I like come into the back and turn the lights on, and she's just like all claws into me. I was like, oh, let her go. And as soon as I turn the light on, there's a deer standing right over there. And then it ran back there into the alley, which is like a garbage dump, go nowhere spot. And then I was like going over there, and then I heard it like getting all freaked out. It's like, crap. So I like ran away, and it just comes like charging out and was all like scared and stuff. It's all like fur was all like standing up, and then it just hoofed it on the way out. But that's why we put that gate in. We're supposed to close it at night and then keep the deer out.
So I just came outside to a flock of quail in my garden eating all of my fall seedlings. Yay! Awesome. The most frustrating part about this is the fact that at this time of year, anything that gets destroyed can't be replanted. I can't plant new beet seedlings into the ground because I don't have a long enough window before frost to be able to get something to grow. So everything that they just destroyed is just lost. And the amount of damage they can do in, a couple minutes of not catching them is pretty substantial. I have one whole section that I planted that has been destroyed. We're pretty lucky here in this area because we're actually in a fenced urban backyard, so I don't have to deal with a lot of pests. I'm sure a lot of you have a lot more pest issues than I have, but even so, like what the animals can do for damage in your garden is really huge. It's crazy how much they can do, and you can pretty much lose an entire garden depending on what gets in there and what they do. One of the main pests in our garden is actually birds, the quail especially, or they can cause huge damage. One of the ways that you can deal with quail damage one of the ways that you can prevent quail damage and just bird damage in general is if you use netting over top of your beds. Cover them up, keep the birds out. It is a pretty good preventative. I know even the cherry orchards around here use that trick. And then, as things grow, if they get less susceptible to getting stuff into them, then you can take that netting off. You just want to make sure that the netting is supported so it's not actually damaging the plants. Another animal that we surprisingly have to deal with in our yard is deer. We're totally fenced. We even have a fenced section through our carport, but if we leave our gate open, they'll actually walk in to our backyard. And we've been lucky so far, usually when the deer get in, and they do get in the fall. It's crazy how aggressive they get for getting into our backyard, but they mainly go for our grapes and our trees, and they cause damage, but not the same damage that they'd cause if they actually got into the garden beds. So we're pretty lucky for that. One of the advantages of urban gardening over rural gardening is the fact that there is less pests to deal with. If you're rural, I'm sure you have crazy stories. I know at my grandpa's farm, which is rural, he has a bear that gets into his trees and breaks off the tree. But just because you're urban doesn't mean you still don't have to deal with pests. You can have rodents and raccoons and things like that that'll get into your garden and eat everything. Squirrels, like I hear crazy stories online of the stuff that people have to deal with. And that is kind of the reality of gardening. There are going to be pests, there are going to be things that get in there, and you have to try to find tricks to prevent the specific ones that you have issues with. So hopefully none of you have to deal with what I'm dealing with today, of losing a whole section of your garden to a bunch of stupid birds. But, you know, you gotta live and learn, right?